From how the Friends actors cracked their inside jokes,
Is everything okay?
Everything's fine.
to the way even the smallest things made the cast laugh. Let's see all the funniest bloopers that happened on the set of Friends.
Gonna get a hand lite vid. Nut.
So far,
go
perfect.
Do you know which friend would break character more often than others? It was Lisa Kudrow. And funnily enough, she'd always make others do it too. You want to ask how? By simply laughing out loud.
Well, at Monica's, you can eat.
She certainly has the most infectious laughter of all the friends.
I can throw wet paper towels here. Well, at Monica's.
So when Lisa started laughing, no one else could act anymore.
No.
Sure, you might think that all this laughter could get annoying at some point, but it didn't, because everyone in Friends loved each other so much. And besides, Lisa's constant laughter was entirely in keeping with her character.
Phoebe's allowed to
fault.
laugh.
I know.
I have all the colors of emotion.
That's right, Phoebe is allowed to laugh at silly things because she's Phoebe. And recently, Jennifer Aniston said that she found it endearing how Lisa broke her character. But wait, did you know that Phoebe was supposed to be a very different person? According to the original scripts, she was a much darker goth girl. So we should be thankful that her personality was altered and Phoebe became the sweet weirdo we all love.
I can throw wet paper towels here, but no.
By the way, Monica was another character who was supposed to be way darker and snarkier. But when Courteney Cox got the role, the writers changed her personality as well. It's strange to even imagine now what the whole series would look like if it followed the original idea. So I guess we should be thankful that Courteney, who was initially offered the role of Rachel, refused and said that she liked Monica much more.
Don't need nobody messing with the system. Good God, I'm so dramatic.
The actress was on board with all the changes to her character, and the rest is history. In fact, Cox was perfect for playing Monica because she's pretty similar to her character. She always likes to keep things clean in real life, and her co-stars would even say that her dressing room was always the tidiest of all. But there was something different between Courteney and Monica: their competitiveness. You certainly remember how much Mon hated to lose, but Courteney feels okay about it. And she's certainly not as good at playing ping pong as her character.
It's gonna be a long night.
That must have been a funny scene to film.
Bingo bango.
And it even came to a point where there were no words to say. Really? What? But in fact, finding words to say was often hard for Courteney.
Phoebe, what about friends of your grandmother? I mean,
What was she supposed to say? Do you remember?
Phoebe, what about friends of your grandmother's? I can't.
I know.
Yeah, she was trying to find out the recipe of Phoebe's grandmother's chocolate chip cookies.
Phoebe, what about friends of your grandmother's? Do they not have the recipe?
And because Courteney was talking to Lisa on the set, her blunders eventually resulted in a burst of laughter. Oh, and since we're back to Phoebe, did you know that she was singing such simple songs only because Lisa Kudrow couldn't learn to play the guitar?
Don't do it, but the second I'll set you for. I said I did the song wrong.
She only learned a few chords and said that she was done with the guitar. Well, who could have guessed, right?
It's hard to tell, but I know.
Her lack of knowledge actually made the character even more adorable. But Phoebe wasn't the only Friends character with a predisposition for music. Another one was Ross.
Are you being prepared for this is a surprise?
Do you remember how he played the keyboard and then the bagpipes? The scenes where he did it had a few things in common. Sure, they were hilarious. Plus, in both of them, no one except for Ross and Phoebe liked the music. And in both, Jennifer Aniston couldn't stop laughing. Here's what she said about it. I couldn't hold it together. No one could hold it together. And the hardest part for Jen was when Lisa started singing 100% like a bagpipe. So in fact, what you saw in both of these scenes were actual bloopers because there was no way for Jennifer to keep a serious face while filming. And here's one more scene that took longer to film than expected. Looks easy, right? Nope, you're wrong.
What?
As Aniston later shared, it took them 45 minutes to shoot that piece because even when everything seemed perfect, they just couldn't stop laughing. You might be wondering how the audience managed to sit for so long while they waited for the actors to get every scene right.
I wish I'd known you were gonna do that.
Well, the crew always had a plan B. The producers would sometimes switch to a new, fresher audience to keep everyone going and ensure that the jokes were landing. And some cliffhangers were shot without the live audience simply because the producers didn't want to spoil anything for the fans. But viewers definitely got the pleasure of watching most of the scenes live and seeing how their favorite actors messed with each other from time to time.
What do I smell?
Sorry.
Matt LeBlanc made a rather innocent and simple joke, but it got the rest of the cast going.
What do I smell?
And even when it seemed like the scene was shot successfully, they still couldn't keep it together. Just imagine, if you were there in the live audience, you'd see this piece with your own eyes. And you'd also witness how your favorite actors hit a blank once in a while.
Haha, look, come on. I don't know what to do. Or say.
Sometimes it would make the scene even funnier.
What the hell's the line?
Another thing that the live audience got the pleasure of seeing was the inside jokes of the cast. Matthew Perry, for example, would often make very specific comments about the success he'd attained in the toilet.
You guys gotta come see this one.
It happened more than once.
Honey, you gotta see this. This is like the size of my arm.
But this time, Courtney decided to just go with it. I don't think she liked what she saw, or smelled. Oh, by the way, did you know one funny fact about Chandler? It wasn't only the other Friends characters who initially thought he was gay, many viewers did too. Maybe it was because he had such a sweet bromance with Joey.
Uncomfortable.
Come on, here we go.
But Jesus, even Lisa Kudrow was surprised when she learned that he was straight during their first table read.
While we're here, anything else?
Get off me.
The show creator David Crane even had to clarify that Chandler wasn't gay in an interview in 1997.
What's that in your pocket?
It's still unclear what made people think that he was.
Okay, I don't know. You have a quality.
But whatever caused this assumption, soon Chandler got out of this uncomfortable situation for good by marrying Monica. And he probably didn't care about other people's opinions, just like Ross didn't care about the band at his wedding to Emily.
Well, we've got to do what the band says, and I don't care about the stupid band!
Speaking of Ross, as a fan, you know how many challenges he had to endure and how many mistakes he made. While playing him, David Schwimmer didn't always realize how hard Ross's life was. But once, thinking about it made him break character.
Oh, poor Ross.
His realization surprised Lisa, who, as always, was laughing.
All right, ready.
Have you ever seen the show?
Wasn't David good at portraying Ross? To be honest, I can't imagine anyone else in his place. And yet, he wasn't always in the best shape.
I don't remember the line.
David messed this scene up so many times that Aniston even scolded him a little bit.
What happened to you? You used to be able to act.
I know.
But the biggest burn for Schwimmer happened when it turned out that his much younger co-star remembered his lines better than he did. It was Cole Sprouse, who played Ross's son, Ben.
You're punctually.
Oh, yeah.
The young man has always been a talented actor, and it looks like he spent much more time on the script than his experienced co-stars.
I know all of his lines.
All right, let's go.
because he didn't only know David's lines, he also knew what Jen Aniston had to say when they were doing a scene together.
Okay, now what is my first line?
Doesn't it look like he's so much nicer to her for getting her lines than to David?
What did we agree?
Okay.
Well, there's actually a reason for that. Little Cole had a crush on Jennifer. We can't blame him because the whole world was in love with her at that point. I do remember being quite intimidated around her because of that, Sprouse shared, and added that he even had stage fright while filming his scenes with Aniston. Well, you couldn't tell. And speaking of Ben, the previous actor who played the boy when he was younger didn't always go along with the script. Remember the scene where Ross was trying to get his son to say "dada" while he was with him for the weekend, but Ben just kept silent? It took them multiple takes to ensure that the kid didn't say anything.
Can you say dada? You know, you might as well say it because I told you.
Because whenever David encouraged him to say "dada," he'd just do it.
See, I'm gonna tell your mommies you said it anyway, so you might as well try. Huh? Yeah, he's saying dada.
Well, what could they do if the boy turned out to be so much more talented than Ben was supposed to be? But they knew what they were getting into, because movie people always say that filming with babies and animals is hard. When Rachel had Emma, they faced this problem once again. Twin sisters Callie and Noelle Sheldon played the baby, and neither of them could stop laughing or making adorable sounds on the set. These girls were just the cutest little things.
I know she's cute, but I really could use some advice.
Please, Matthew, how can she concentrate on the scene when she has this sweet baby girl on her lap? But we should remember that there were animals on the set of Friends as well. And for example, filming Marcel in the first season also wasn't easy.
Oh, look, there. Okay.
Marcel was played by a female monkey, Katie.
See, Katie, come here. Katie. Katie. Come here, Katie.
What a good monkey. It was fun, but too time-consuming to make things work, so eventually the writers decided that Ross had to give his pet away. And it was a huge bummer for David Schwimmer because he wanted to bond with the monkey so much. The trainers won't let me bond with it. They're really, really possessive, the actor explained. It was okay because eventually he got to have fun on the set, even without the monkey.
No.
But I still wonder how this scene and the entire series would look like if Marcel had stayed.
It tastes like feet.
Maybe he would just eat the whole trifle and be done with it? We can only guess. Anyway, that's it for today. If you liked this video, watch the one we made about the funniest bloopers from The Big Bang Theory, and stay awesome.